New at 6, problems piling up for Toyota as complaints about the popular Prius continue to roll in, and now the car maker is turning.
It happens without warning.
Now I'm going to hit the brake while the throttle's floored. Watch.
Oh my God. The technical term is sudden unintended acceleration.
They keep telling you that Japanese badge automatically means bulletproof reliability, that Toyota or Honda on the grille guarantees 300,000 trouble-free miles. Meanwhile, some Japanese models are mechanical nightmares that mechanics pray you won't buy. Your reliable Japanese car might be the next expensive mistake sitting in your driveway tonight. They built their reputation on 80s and 90s quality that embarrassed American and European makers. Honda Civics that ran forever, Toyota Corollas that laughed at neglect, and Nissan pickups that conquered construction sites without breaking a sweat. That legendary reliability made Japanese brands the gold standard for dependable transportation, but something changed around 2005 that they don't want you to discover. Japanese automakers faced intense pressure to cut costs while simultaneously developing new technologies for global markets. The result? A perfect storm of reliability issues that many buyers don't discover until it's too late. Meet David Martinez, who bought a 2016 Nissan Altima thinking he was getting legendary Japanese reliability. The CVT transmission started shuddering at 62,000 miles, David explains, standing next to his stranded car. The dealer wants $4,200 to fix a transmission that should have lasted twice as long. While you're making payments on what you thought was bulletproof transportation, some Japanese models are failing faster than American cars from the 1980s. The badge doesn't guarantee reliability anymore. Specific models and powertrains either nailed it or failed spectacularly. That Honda or Toyota logo might be riding on reputation their current vehicles can't deliver. They moved production globally while chasing cost-cutting that would make their founders weep. That Nissan you're looking at might wear a Japanese badge, but it could be built in Thailand, Mexico, or Tennessee with different suppliers, different quality standards, and different reliability outcomes. The rush to adopt new technologies created disasters that mechanics see daily. CVT transmissions promised better fuel economy, but early versions from Nissan and Mitsubishi were reliability catastrophes. One transmission shop owner told me he sees CVT failures as early as 60,000 miles, half the lifespan of conventional automatics. Then there's the diesel experiment that proved Japanese engineering isn't infallible. Mazda and Subaru both tried entering diesel markets with chronic turbo failures, DPF system problems, and fuel delivery issues that would bankrupt smaller companies. But here's what most people miss about modern Japanese reliability. Maintenance matters more than ever before. That bulletproof reputation from the 90s came from cars that could survive neglect. Today's Japanese vehicles are less forgiving of skipped oil changes and deferred maintenance. The disconnect between reputation and reality has never been wider, and it's getting worse every model year as cost-cutting accelerates. They promised smooth, efficient power delivery while engineering the most expensive transmission failures in automotive history. CVT early failures across brands, especially Nissan's Jatco units, are so predictable that they extended warranties and settled class action lawsuits rather than fix the fundamental design flaws. When a company starts paying settlements, you know the problem is systematic, not isolated. Nissan CVT settlement covers 2013 to 2017 Altima, Sentra, and Pathfinder models with transmission replacements costing $3,000 to $5,000 when they fail. Maria Santos, rideshare driver in Phoenix. Her 2015 Altima's CVT started juddering at 68,000 miles during a passenger pickup. The whole car shook like it was having a seizure. I had to cancel rides for 3 days while waiting for a tow truck. The CVT trap works like this. Smooth operation for the first 50,000 miles convinces you the technology works. Then catastrophic failure hits without warning, leaving you with repair bills that exceed the vehicle's value. Ask any transmission shop owner about CVT reliability and watch their expression change. These aren't gradual wear items, they're ticking time bombs that explode when you can least afford the repair bill. Next up, Toyota's oil consumption scandal that they tried to hide. They sold you Toyota's legendary reliability, while certain engines burned oil like 1970s muscle cars. The Toyota 2AZFE oil consumption problem affected 2006 to 2011 RAV4 and Camry models. forcing them into warranty enhancement programs and class action settlements when owners discovered engines that consumed a quart every 500 to 800 miles. Toyota Z or E7 warranty enhancement program covered excessive oil consumption on 2 AZF-E engines, with some owners receiving complete engine replacements under extended coverage. Jennifer Walsh, Denver teacher. Her 2009 RAV4 required weekly oil top-offs during her 60-mile daily commute. I kept a case of oil in my garage like it was a consumable item. The dealer said it was within normal parameters until the class action lawsuit proved otherwise. The oil burn pattern reveals how they define acceptable failure rates. Toyota knew about excessive consumption but didn't act until legal pressure forced their hand. Your engine wasn't defective. It was operating within their expanded definition of normal. This isn't isolated to Toyota. Honda's 1.5T oil dilution issues in cold climates show that even legendary manufacturers will sell you problems disguised as progress. The emissions compliance rush created reliability disasters across multiple brands. They downsized engines for EPA ratings while creating complexity that destroys long-term reliability. Honda's 1.5T oil dilution problem affects Civic and CR-V models, especially in cold climates where fuel mixes with oil during short trips. Software updates reduced but didn't eliminate the issue, leaving owners to monitor oil levels like aircraft mechanics. Consumer Reports documented Honda 1.5T oil dilution issues and extended warranty actions covering affected 2016 through 2019 models. Mike Chen, Minnesota commuter. His 2018 CR-V requires weekly oil checks during winter months. I smell gasoline on the dipstick every morning. Honda says the software update fixed it, but I'm still adding oil every 2,000 miles. The small turbo trap works like this. Great fuel economy and peppy performance for the first 60,000 miles. Then, turbocharger failures, oil consumption, and carbon buildup create repair bills that would make German car owners feel financially responsible. Naturally aspirated engines from the same manufacturers run 250,000 plus miles with basic maintenance. Turbocharged versions start having expensive problems around 80,000 miles. They chose EPA compliance over long-term durability, and you're paying the repair bills for their regulatory strategy. They rushed electric technology to market while using early adopters as unpaid beta testers for unproven systems. Toyota's BZ4X wheel detachment recall affected initial production runs, grounding thousands of vehicles while they figured out why wheel hub bolts were loosening during normal driving. The fix took months, leaving owners with expensive paperweights in their driveways. NHTSA Recall 22V444 covered 2,700 Toyota BZ4X vehicles for wheel hub bolt failures that could cause wheels to separate from the vehicle. Robert Kim, early EV adopter in California. His brand new BZ4X sat at the dealer for 4 months waiting for recall repairs. I bought it to avoid gas stations, but I ended up taking Ubers everywhere while Toyota figured out how to keep the wheels attached. The early EV wobbles proved that even Toyota isn't immune to first-generation problems. They marketed these vehicles as ready for prime time while the engineering was still experimental. Learning curves are expensive when you're the customer paying to debug their unfinished products. Every recall notice represents a problem they should have caught before selling you the vehicle. Battery thermal management failures created even bigger disasters. They skipped active thermal management to save costs while your battery pack cooked itself to death in hot climates. Early Nissan Leaf models lacked active battery cooling, causing rapid capacity degradation in hot states like Arizona and Texas. Owners reported losing 30% of their range within 3 years, not from normal wear but from heat damage that could have been prevented. MIT Technology Review and Autoblog documented early Leaf battery degradation rates, with some Phoenix area vehicles losing multiple capacity bars within 24 months. Susan Rodriguez, Phoenix commuter, her 2013 Leaf went from 84 miles of range to 58 miles after 3 Arizona summers. I bought it for my 40-mile commute, but now I can barely make it to work without range anxiety. The resale value is basically zero. The thermal management failure reveals how they prioritize initial cost over long-term durability. Tesla included active cooling from day one, but Nissan chose cheaper passive systems that couldn't protect batteries from heat damage. Your battery pack becomes a depreciating asset that loses value faster than the vehicle itself. When replacement costs $8,000 to $12,000, the math forces you to scrap otherwise functional vehicles. Now let's reveal which specific models you should avoid at all cost. We share the truth about Japanese reliability, while they spin marketing myths built on 30-year-old reputations. If you want the real story instead of their badge worship propaganda, hit subscribe right now. We're building a community of informed buyers who refuse to get played by marketing departments trading on past glory. Share this video with anyone you care about who's car shopping. Let's stop these companies from cashing checks on reputations their current vehicles can't deliver. Download the free guide, 17 Cars to Avoid in 2025. In the description, because that Japanese badge might be hiding expensive disappointments that'll drain your bank account for years. Knowledge beats marketing every single time. How we chose the die's early list, repeated failure modes, recalls, TSBs, and total cost of ownership disasters that would make accountants weep. These aren't isolated incidents or bad luck stories. We're talking about systematic reliability problems documented through Consumer Reports data, NHTSA investigations, class action settlements, and mechanic shop records that reveal which Japanese models consistently fail their owners. Master Technician Dave Martinez, 25 years of experience. I keep a whiteboard with failure tallies by model. Some Japanese cars earn hash marks faster than I can erase them. Others go months without a single major repair. The selection criteria eliminates bias and focuses on hard data. Transmission failure rates above 15% by 80,000 miles. Engine problems requiring major repairs before 100,000 miles. Electrical system failures that total vehicles. Recall frequency that suggests systematic design flaws rather than isolated incidents. These vehicles might wear Japanese badges, but they'll bankrupt you faster than American cars from the malaise era. The reputation doesn't match the reality, and the repair bills prove it. First up, the Mitsubishi that mechanics call a financial disaster on wheels. They marketed it as affordable transportation while engineering a reliability disaster that would embarrass discount appliance manufacturers. The 1.2-liter three-cylinder engine paired with Jatco CVT transmission creates what mechanics call a perfect storm of problems. Frequent CVT failures cost $3,000 to $5,000 to repair, more than many of these cars are worth on the used market. CarComplaints.com documents widespread CVT failures in Mirage models, with replacement costs often exceeding vehicle value. Ashley Chen, college student at Colorado, her 2017 Mirage's CVT failed at 47,000 miles during finals week. I paid $6,500 for the car, and the dealer wanted $4,200 for a new transmission. I ended up scrapping it and taking the bus. The Mirage proves that cheap initial price doesn't equal low total cost of ownership. They cut every possible corner during development, and it shows in reliability statistics that would make Yugo engineers blush. Mitsubishi's financial troubles during this car's development cycle resulted in quality control that prioritized getting vehicles out the door over making them last. You're literally better off buying an older Yaris than a newer Mirage. Next, Nissan's compact disaster that floats like a waterbed. They created a vehicle that combines CVT fragility with compromised practicality, a bad combination that destroys both reliability and usability. The Juke's CVT transmission shares the same fundamental flaws as other Nissan models, but adds quirky styling that sacrifices visibility and cargo space. When the transmission fails, and it will, you're stuck with expensive repairs on a vehicle that was already impractical. CarComplaints.com patterns show CVT failures across Juke model years, with owners reporting transmission problems as early as 50,000 miles. Mark Thompson, delivery driver. His 2013 Juke needed 2 CVT replacements in 4 years. The first one failed at 62,000 miles. The replacement lasted until 89,000. I traded it before the third failure bankrupted me. The Juke represents everything wrong with modern automotive thinking: style over substance, complexity over reliability, and marketing over engineering. The rear visibility is atrocious, the back seats are cramped, and the cargo space is laughable for an SUV. One owner described it as all the disadvantages of a small car with none of the advantages of an SUV. When the CVT fails, you're left with an expensive repair bill on a vehicle that wasn't practical when it worked. They moved production to America while keeping the same CVT problems that plagued their entire lineup, proving that geography can't fix fundamental engineering flaws. Built in Tennessee rather than Japan, the R52 Pathfinder feels old and tired even when new. The CVT complaints mirror other Nissan models but add aging platform dynamics and interior materials that would embarrass a discount furniture store. CarComplaints.com trends show consistent CVT problems across R52 Pathfinder years, with repair costs often exceeding $4,000. The Martinez family, Colorado Springs, their 2016 Pathfinder's CVT failed during a family road trip, leaving them stranded in limp mode with 2 kids in the back seat. We had to call a tow truck and rent a car to get home. The vacation was ruined, and we still owed $18,000 on a vehicle worth maybe $12,000. The R52 proves that low price doesn't equal low total cost of ownership. They positioned it as an affordable 3-row SUV, but the reliability problems make it expensive to own long-term. When automotive journalists describe a brand new vehicle as horrible, that should tell you everything about long-term ownership prospects. They sold you Toyota's legendary reliability, while certain engines consumed oil like vintage British sports cars. Specific to AZFE engines in Camry RAV4 and Scion models developed documented excessive oil consumption that forced them into warranty enhancement programs when owners discovered engines burning a quart every 500 to 800 miles. Toyota ZE7 warranty enhancement program and related TSBS covered excessive oil consumption, with some owners receiving complete engine replacements. David Park, used car buyer, his 2009 Camry came with maintenance records showing monthly oil purchases. The previous owner kept receipts for 47 quarts of oil in 2 years. I discovered engine sludge during my first oil change. The damage was already done. The oil burn pattern reveals how they define acceptable failure rates. Toyota initially claimed 1 quart per 1,000 miles was normal, but class action pressure forced them to acknowledge the problem and extend coverage. How to spot a burner during used car shopping. Check maintenance records for frequent oil purchases, look for blue smoke on startup, and inspect the oil filler cap for sludge buildup. These engines can be identified by VIN ranges, so do your research before buying any affected model years. They downsized to a turbocharged 4-cylinder while creating oil dilution problems that turn your engine oil into gasoline soup. Short trip and cold weather driving causes fuel to mix with oil in Honda's 1.5T engine, diluting lubrication and causing premature wear that might not show up until after warranty expiration. Honda issued software updates, but many technicians report the problem persists in real-world conditions. The 1.5T represents the modern Japanese dilemma. Great fuel economy and peppy performance initially, but long-term durability questions that previous Honda engines never raised. Naturally aspirated Honda engines from the same era regularly hit 250,000 plus miles with basic maintenance. The oil dilution issue affects Civic and CR-V models primarily, with cold climate owners reporting the worst problems. Winter driving with short trips creates the perfect conditions for fuel contamination that turns routine oil changes into expensive engine protection. When Honda Master technicians check their own oil weekly during winter, that should tell you everything about long-term confidence in this power plant. They tried to bring European diesel efficiency to global markets while creating reliability nightmares that would make German engineers weep. DPF regeneration issues, sensor failures, and turbo problems plague Mazda's diesel engines in markets where they're available. The ACCC case against Mazda Australia over consumer law violations shows how serious these problems became for owners. The diesel experiment proves that even Mazda's excellent chassis engineering can't overcome fundamental powertrain problems. The petrol CX-5 is genuinely fantastic, reliable, fun to drive, and well-built. The diesel version should be avoided like radioactive waste. DPF systems clog faster than hair salon drains, requiring expensive cleaning or replacement that can cost thousands. Turbo failures occur as early as 60,000 miles, and the pressure sensors fail constantly, triggering check engine lights that most dealers struggle to diagnose correctly. One owner group survey found 40% of CX-5 diesel owners experienced emission system problems within 30,000 miles. When nearly half the owners have issues, that's not bad luck, that's systematic failure. They rushed their first serious EV to market while using early adopters as unpaid beta testers for unproven wheel attachment systems. The wheel hub bolt recall grounded thousands of brand new BZ4X vehicles when bolts loosened during normal driving, creating the possibility of wheels detaching completely. The fix took months, leaving owners with expensive paperweights, while Toyota figured out basic wheel attachment. Early EV adoption always carries risks, but wheel detachment represents a fundamental safety failure that should never escape pre-production testing. This wasn't a software glitch or minor component failure. This was wheels potentially falling off during highway driving. The BZ4X recall proves that even Toyota isn't immune to first-generation problems when rushing new technology to market. While Toyota has addressed the concerns, early adopters faced significant inconvenience and safety risks that come with being unpaid product testers. Current production appears to have resolved the issues, but the recall history remains part of the vehicle's permanent record. They skipped active battery cooling to save costs while your battery pack cooked itself to death in hot climates. Early Leaf generations suffer from rapid battery degradation in hot climates like Arizona and Texas, with some owners losing 30% of range within 3 years. Without active thermal management that competitors like Tesla included, the battery pack was essentially designed to degrade faster than necessary. The thermal management failure created a resale disaster for early adopters. When your primary selling point, electric range, decreases dramatically over time, the vehicle becomes nearly worthless on the used market. Later generations with improved battery chemistry and thermal management systems perform much better, but early Leafs represent poor value on the used market. Unless you're looking at the latest generation with proven battery longevity, earlier models are financial time bombs waiting to explode. Heat kills batteries, and Nissan learned this lesson at their customers' expense. They proved that even luxury brands can miss the mark completely when chasing trends over engineering excellence. The SC430 manages to be both expensive and underwhelming, a combination that destroys resale value and owner satisfaction. Described by automotive journalists as a sheep in sheep's clothing, it lacks the performance, luxury, or reliability that Lexus buyers expect. Top Gear famously voted it one of the worst cars ever made, and the styling has aged poorly compared to contemporary luxury convertibles. The performance is mediocre, the ride quality is harsh, and the technology feels dated even when it was new. Even Lexus enthusiasts avoid this model, which tells you everything about its place in the brand's hierarchy. When your own brand loyalist won't defend a vehicle, that's a clear signal to shop elsewhere. The SC430 proves that luxury badges don't automatically guarantee desirable ownership experiences. Now you know the common failure patterns that can bankrupt unsuspecting buyers. CVT transmissions that die predictably, oil consumption that turns routine maintenance into expensive protection, and first-generation technology that uses customers as beta testers. The pattern recognition gives you power during used car shopping. Check for CVT shuddering during test drives. Look for blue smoke on startup that indicates oil burning. Research recall histories before making offers. Verify parts availability for common repairs, because some failures are so expensive that they total otherwise functional vehicles. But here's the flip side that proves Japanese engineering can still deliver legendary reliability when they focus on proven fundamentals instead of chasing maximum profit margins. The 5 survivors I'm about to show you represent everything Japanese automakers do right when they prioritize durability over quarterly earnings. What earned these 5 models their spot? Long-term reliability data, proven powertrains that age gracefully, strong safety records, and parts ecosystems that keep them running affordably for decades. These aren't just good cars, they're generational wealth builders that save families thousands in repair bills while holding resale value that makes them smart financial investments. Each represents Japanese engineering at its absolute peak, when manufacturers prioritized reputation over quarterly profit margins. The selection criteria eliminates marketing hype and focuses on real-world ownership data. Transmission reliability above 95% at 150,000 miles. Engine longevity exceeding 250,000 miles with basic maintenance. Safety ratings that protect families. Repair costs that won't bankrupt middle-class budgets. These vehicles prove that legendary Japanese reliability isn't dead. It's just hiding in specific models that prioritize fundamentals over flashy features. They combined 25 years of hybrid expertise with Toyota's most popular platform while delivering genuine all-electric capability for daily driving. The RAV4 Prime offers 42 miles of EPA-rated electric range plus Toyota's proven hybrid system for unlimited total range. Consumer Reports named it a top pick for 2025, recognizing the perfect balance of efficiency, capability, and reliability that defines smart transportation. The dual personality eliminates range anxiety while maximizing fuel savings. Most daily commutes complete on electric power alone, but road trips don't require charging infrastructure planning. When the battery depletes, it functions like a regular hybrid, delivering 38 miles per gallon combined. Toyota's hybrid reliability data spans decades, with original Prius batteries still performing well after 300,000 miles. The 10-year, 150,000-mile battery warranty reflects genuine confidence in long-term durability, not marketing theater. Federal tax incentives can offset the higher purchase price, and fuel savings of 60 to 70% compared to conventional SUVs make the total cost of ownership compelling for families who drive regularly. They poured everything into their flagship SUV, while proving that Japanese luxury can exceed European standards without the maintenance nightmares. The CX-90 earned IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus recognition, the highest possible safety rating that reflects both crash protection and accident prevention technology. The interior materials fit and finish rival vehicles costing $20,000 more from German luxury brands. Powertrain flexibility lets you choose between turbocharged inline-six or plug-in hybrid systems, both paired with responsive 8-speed automatic transmissions. Unlike competitors that force CVT compromises, Mazda understands that driving enjoyment matters for long-term satisfaction. The reliability projections look strong based on component history and Mazda's recent quality improvements. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power consistently rank Mazda near the top for reliability, often outperforming Toyota and Honda in recent surveys. One owner described it as 90% of the luxury experience with 10% of the headaches compared to European alternatives that spend more time in service departments than driveways. They refined America's best-selling sedan into a reliability benchmark that consistently earns perfect scores from Consumer Reports while delivering engaging driving dynamics. The Camry receives a perfect 5 out of 5 reliability rating, rare achievement for any vehicle regardless of price or origin. The latest generation offers genuinely engaging handling in TRD and XSE trims, while maintaining the comfort and efficiency that built its reputation. Powertrain options cover every need. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder delivers 39 miles per gallon highway. The 3.5-liter V6 produces 301 horsepower, and the hybrid achieves 52 miles per gallon combined. All three engines have proven track records for longevity that span multiple generations. Resale value leadership reflects market confidence in long-term durability. After 5 years, Camrys typically retain 60% of original value, significantly higher than the 45% segment average. The Camry proves that sedans still make sense when they prioritize reliability, efficiency, and value over flashy crossover trends that compromise practicality. They perfected their two-motor hybrid system while delivering the space efficiency and reliability that made the CR-V America's best-selling SUV. The CR-V Hybrid combines 204 total system horsepower with 40 miles per gallon city fuel economy, numbers that seemed impossible for spacious SUVs just years ago. The hybrid system transitions seamlessly between electric and gas power with refinement that took Honda years to perfect. Interior space maximization remains Honda's greatest strength. The rear seats offer more legroom than some midsize SUVs, and cargo capacity expands to 76.5 cubic feet with seats folded, genuine utility that justifies SUV ownership. Honda's hybrid reliability data looks promising based on Accord hybrid experience, and the battery carries an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The system shares proven components that have demonstrated excellent longevity in other Honda applications. All-wheel drive comes standard, providing genuine capability without the fuel economy penalties of traditional AWD systems that run constantly. They built the perfect adventure vehicle that doesn't punish daily driving while delivering standard AWD capability that most competitors charge extra for. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive sets the Outback apart from front drive platforms with AWD added as an afterthought. With 8.7 inches of ground clearance and genuine off-road capability, it ventures places most wagons wouldn't dare while maintaining car-like handling on pavement. The safety credentials are exceptional. NHTSA and IIHS consistently award top ratings, making it one of the safest vehicles regardless of price category. EyeSight driver assistance comes standard across all trims. Ownership costs remain reasonable despite recent price increases, and Subarus are known for longevity when properly maintained. The Boxer engine requires attention to oil levels, but this minor inconvenience pays dividends in capability and durability, Resale value excellence reflects market recognition of the Outback's unique capabilities. After 5 years, they typically retain 57% of original value, well above industry averages for the adventure capability they provide. Shared traits that separate survivors from failures, proven powertrains that prioritize longevity over maximum power, robust parts, networks that keep repair costs reasonable, sensible technology integration that enhances rather than complicates ownership, and strong safety records that protect families. These vehicles represent Japanese engineering philosophy at its best: continuous improvement over revolutionary change, reliability over complexity, and customer satisfaction over quarterly profit maximization. They're built by companies that still remember, reputation takes decades to build, but can be destroyed in a single model generation. The parts availability and service network advantages matter more as vehicles age. Independent mechanics can service these vehicles affordably, unlike complex European alternatives that require dealer-only diagnostics and proprietary tools. Most importantly, these 5 prove that legendary Japanese reliability isn't extinct. It's just concentrated in manufacturers who still prioritize long-term reputation over short-term profit margins. Your inspection checklist that separates genuine reliability from badge worship marketing. VIN recall lookup through NHTSA database, maintenance records that prove consistent care, pre-purchase inspection by qualified technicians, and transmission choice verification. Avoid weak CVTs in favor of conventional automatics or proven hybrid systems. Research warm-up patterns for turbocharged engines. They need proper heat cycles to prevent carbon buildup and premature wear. The magnet test reveals hidden rust on older vehicles, especially around wheel wells and door frames. If the magnet won't stick, you're looking at body filler or rust so advanced there's no metal left. Check oil consumption patterns during test drives. Blue smoke on startup indicates internal wear that'll cost thousands to repair. Verify parts availability for common repairs because some Japanese models use unique components that become expensive when they fail. Knowledge beats assumptions every time when separating reliable survivors from expensive disappointments. When to buy used, depreciation sweet spots on proven platforms, especially 3 to 5-year-old vehicles that absorbed the steepest value drops while retaining warranty coverage. When to buy new PHEV federal incentives that offset higher purchase prices, warranty protection on complex hybrid systems, and current safety technology that wasn't available in older generations. The math changes based on your driving patterns and financial situation. High-mileage drivers benefit from new vehicle warranties and fuel efficiency improvements. Low-mileage drivers can capitalize on depreciation by buying reliable used vehicles that others maintained properly. Financing considerations matter more than ever with current interest rates. Sometimes certified pre-owned programs offer better rates than new vehicle financing, especially for buyers with excellent credit scores. Run the total cost of ownership numbers including insurance, maintenance, and fuel costs, not just monthly payments that hide the real financial impact. End-of-month and end-of-quarter timing gives you leverage when dealers need to hit sales targets and move aged inventory that's bleeding floor plan interest. Watch for vehicles with 90-plus days of lot time. They represent dealer desperation and your negotiating opportunity. Use recall histories and TSB patterns as pricing leverage, especially on models with known issues that affect resale value. Test for CVT shuttering during extended drives, oil consumption during cold starts, and hybrid system transitions under various load conditions. Document any problems for negotiation ammunition. The walk-away moment is your most powerful tool. When you're genuinely prepared to leave without buying, dealers reveal their actual bottom-line pricing instead of their opening negotiation theater. Pre-approved financing from credit unions often beats dealer rates and eliminates their financing profit margins from the negotiation equation. Intervals that actually work instead of marketing-driven lifetime fluids. CVT fluid changes every 30,000 miles regardless of manufacturer claims. Severe service oil changes every 5,000 miles for turbocharged engines. And coolant system maintenance that prevents expensive hybrid component failures. Brake fluid replacement every 3 years prevents ABS and hybrid regenerative braking system problems that cost thousands to repair. Differential service on AWD models prevents expensive drivetrain failures that total otherwise reliable vehicles. The maintenance that manufacturers don't emphasize, carbon cleaning on direct injection engines, transmission cooler inspection on CVT models, and battery cooling system maintenance on hybrid vehicles. Preventive maintenance costs hundreds, neglect costs thousands. The vehicles that reach 300,000 miles aren't lucky. They're properly maintained by owners who understand that reliability requires investment in proven service intervals. Documentation matters for resale value and warranty claims. Battery warranties reflect genuine manufacturer confidence. 10-year, 150,000-mile coverage on Toyota hybrids versus shorter terms on unproven systems. Hybrid longevity data spans decades, with original Prius batteries still performing after 300,000 miles. Avoid first-year models of new powertrains that use early adopters as unpaid beta testers. Let other buyers debug the problems while you wait for proven reliability data and recall patterns to emerge. Parts availability matters more as vehicles age. Popular models maintain strong aftermarket support and reasonable repair costs, while low-volume vehicles become expensive to maintain when manufacturers discontinue parts support. The safest strategy: proven platforms with evolutionary improvements rather than revolutionary changes that introduce untested complexity and potential failure modes. Here's the question that should guide every Japanese car purchase. Does this specific model deserve the reputation, or is it riding on badge loyalty that the current vehicle can't deliver? The Japanese reliability legend isn't dead. It's just concentrated in manufacturers who still prioritize long-term reputation over quarterly profit margins. Choose wisely and you'll join the 300,000-mile club. Choose poorly and you'll fund expensive repairs on vehicles that should have been bulletproof. If you know someone car shopping in 2025, share this video so they don't get fooled by badge worship that ignores reliability reality. Hit subscribe for more myth-busting that saves you thousands in repair bills. We're building a community of informed buyers who refuse to get played by marketing departments trading on past glory. Download 17 cars to avoid in 2025 in the description, because that Japanese badge might be hiding expensive disappointments. Stay sharp. Not all legends age gracefully.